and we've discussed this issue in reality. In reality, what we really think, and we're decent people, so our thoughts are worth something. And now we're going to go on air and we're going to come out with a load of, a drink of water set of views, anodyne. Nobody's going to learn anything about us as people, about the issue involved. So let's talk like we talk in real life. And they go, hey, can't possibly do that.
And sometimes that's a little rough around the edges. Sometimes it doesn't include everybody, but that's how it is when you have those conversations.
It's about freedom of speech, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Cheers.
I like you, G-Man Jr.
Thank you, G-Man.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. It's Skype.
Yeah.
Play.radio.uk is our...
I was going to say you've got a Skype call, but it has
you?
just crashed on me again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll listen to some important information and at the same time maybe crack another beer. You do the same at home if you can.
Play Radio UK.
How would you like to tell millions of people around the world about your company and what it does? PlayRadioUK.com can get your message to over 1 million listeners every month from under £1,000. So harness the impact of internet radio today. Get ahead of the competition and increase your sales and profits. For full details, go to playradiouk.com/sales or call 01243 55 63 55.
The Play Radio Network invites you to make a real difference in the life of a family coping with a terminal condition or severe disability. A ticket to the prestigious Life for Living London event can be yours for a very special Play Radio UK donation of just £25. Taking place at the Energy Clinic in London on Wednesday the 24th of October from 6:30pm, this unique evening of entertainment and learning will bring home to you just how valuable your contribution is. With drinks, canapes, live music and the Barefoot Doctor on hand, as well as a free head and shoulder massage, your evening will be unforgettable. Book your tickets now by calling on 0207 767 3460 or follow the link on the Play Radio UK website, and you can also hear the Barefoot Doctor's personal message. Play Radio UK and Life's for Living. Please help make a difference today.
Dynamic Diction with Tommy and Duncan on Play Radio UK. Beware, the content of this show may offend.
In different ways. Marcus, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah. There's a couple of, for examples. There's a guy called David Irving, who is a historian, who believes that there was no Holocaust of the Jews in the Second World War, or at least that it's been massively exaggerated. And he in so saying, he contravened the law in Austria, a 1990 law. So when he went to Austria to lecture, they promptly arrested him and they threw him in prison for 3 years. He's back in this country now. He's broke because he lost a bankruptcy. He lost a libel case against a woman author in America, and he's bankrupt. But conventional broadcasting kind of isn't allowed to interview him because of what he'd say, that Auschwitz wasn't an extermination camp. That's one example. Yeah. Then just this week, there's a guy called James Watson, I think his name is. Yeah. He's a scientist. He won a Nobel Prize for discovering DNA. He
really?
Yeah, serious voice. However, he was invited over to speak, I think, at the Oxford Union, but he spoke to a journalist friend of his at the Times and mentioned a theory of his, which is that Africa is never going to solve its own problems because Africans are fundamentally, genetically, less intelligent than the rest. Mm-hmm. So they wouldn't let him speak. And they sent him home. So we're never going to find out whether there's something in what he says, or more likely he's a nutcase. And we're never going to find out if there's something in what David Irving says, or whether he's a racist. Would Play Radio be prepared to talk to people like that in the interests of finding out what it is they have to say, and are therefore allowing people the freedom of making up their own minds?
I actually, both cases, but particularly the first one, with regards to the Holocaust, is represents the two sides of journalism. The answer to your question, Tommy, is yes. Play Radio would be prepared to give people the opportunity to put forward their views, because that's the essence of the freedom of speech. With regards to the validity of what Mr. Irving had to say about the horrific or reported, much reported horrific events of the Nazis in the Second World War, it's the oldest activity in the book, isn't it? It's the oldest thing in the book, manipulating the press. And so with cases along the way and conspiracy theories still going today and as recent as 9/11, where there are many thoughts and many beliefs that the media has manipulated or enhanced or bid to move people's minds or views and opinions through their power, anything is possible. And therefore, I mean, on the one hand, freedom of speech should be allowed, and on the other, I think people's minds should be open to the possibility that actually what they're hearing or seeing or what's being reported to them may not actually be entirely true.
Okay, so what do you think about what Marcus just said? I have to say, entirely unbiased, I think that's fantastic. And it's one of the great contributions that the internet can make to the world over and above contemporary conventional broadcasting and written press, who do a great job in certain respects. But, for example, Marcus mentioned the 9/11 thing. There is an enormous amount of really impressive questions being asked by very important and well-qualified and intelligent, lucid, liberal and non-liberal people in the United States, and not a jot of it gets onto the conventional media. I haven't seen a TV programme about this clamour in America on British TV. Panorama hasn't done it. Why not? You know, it hasn't been reported on the news. It hasn't been. Even the Guardian, you know, the good old Guardian that likes to say it's as honest as the day is long. I haven't seen anything in any of our newspapers. Maybe there was something in the Daily Express just saying there are people who think that the craziest conspiracy theory that's ever been put forward is that a bunch of 19 ragtag terrorists armed with box cutters, none of whom could fly a plane, were able to wreak that kind of havoc. Okay, let's take a few more calls on the human zoo, which might be objective or ridiculous. We don't care.
Tommy, play the jingle.
Oh, good. Yeah, sorry, Alan. Okay. Where are we? Alan Caddick's sports middle jingle. One.
Sunday night sport roundup with Alan Caddick on playradio.uk.com.
Good evening. We start with Formula One at Ferrari's Kimi Räikkönen has won his first Formula One World Drivers' Championship as Lewis Hamilton's bid to become champion has come to a dramatic end in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Hamilton's attempt to make history by winning the title in his maiden season ended when he finished only 7th. His challenge was ended when problems with his McLaren dropped into the back of the grid field early on. His teammate Fernando Alonso's hopes were dashed as he finished third behind Räikkönen's Ferrari teammate Felipe Massa. So the final standings look like this. Räikkönen, who has won 2 more races than anyone else, wins the championship with 110 points. With Alonso and Hamilton tied on 109, Hamilton takes second place on countback with 1 more second place than Alonso. Now, football, and in the day's only game in the Premiership at Upton Park, West Ham beat Sunderland by 3 goals to 1. West Ham went ahead in the 8th minute when Carlton Cole twisted to level George McCartney cross into the top corner of the net. However, Sunderland pulled level when Kenway Jones levelled with a firm header after half-time. West Ham made it back into the lead after Roberto Solano pounced his shot hit the mark and went in off the boot of Sunderland's goalie Craig Gordon. And Craig made sure it was 3 points to West Ham with a goal on the stroke half-time. And finally, in rugby union, the scores in the Guinness Premiership are as follows. Bristol 39, Leeds Carnegie 13, London Irish 15, Gloucester 10, Newcastle 20, Bath 33. And that's sport for tonight. It's over to Tommy, Stuart, and the head of Play Radio.
Hang on a second, Alan. Hang on. That was very good. You there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, very good. Anybody got any notes? I've got a couple of notes, Alan.
Go on, then.
Unless anybody else wants to get in first.
In terms of feedback?
Feedback.
He was about to miss out my name.
Feedback.
He's got a lot of energy, Alan, and we like
yes,
that. A lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm for sport, and that's a big plus.
Yeah.
But pace was a little feisty, I thought.
Too pacey.
Too pacey. Energy's good, but that was actually quite pacey. And
too pacey, Alan.
Yeah.